What's up YouTube? Today I'll be sharing with you my top 10 predictions for 2023. Most of them will be related with the soccer card market and have in mind this is just a fun exercise. If in the end or even right now you want to leave a like, thank you so much for that, is the best way to show support. If you are a new viewer, also consider to subscribe. Putting that out of the way, let's go into the video and I hope you have fun. So guys, let's start with this 10 predictions for 2023. Keep one thing in mind, no one can predict the market and this is just a fun exercise. If you disagree with me, there is a good chance you are correct. I also invite you to leave a comment because debate, critical thinking is something that I encourage in this community. Let's start with the prediction number 1. At least 2 major new rookies will be discovered in pre-modern. The soccer card market is still in its early phase, so many things will be discovered. A good example of this was the new Buffon rookie that appeared recently on eBay. Benzema McDonald's also a very good example, and I don't know who the next player will be, but this will keep happening. Probably not for players like Messi or Ronaldo if I had to guess, since their market is much more explored at this point, even though there is still a small chance there. So like I was saying, fun prediction, but I really believe more rookies will keep appearing in pre-modern. You can apply this logic to vintage. If you are not aware, by the way, this is the new Buffon rookie. Panini Headland. To put in perspective, I've been collecting Buffon for, I would say 2-3 years at this point, and I was not aware of this card. So again, you need to be open-minded when it comes to the soccer card market. You need to understand that we are still in an early phase. If you guys watch my videos on Patreon, on YouTube, you know this, we are just getting started, and this is a good example of why I keep saying that. Let's move on to the number 2 prediction, and goes this way. It's not going to be a great year in the collectible space. Main reason, macroeconomics. Very difficult to predict the future of any market, so I can be very wrong on this one. Why? Because sentiment on the market can change quite fast. That being said, I follow other markets close, and I also try to be informed about political/economics topics. Just my perspective, but more pain will be coming to most markets. No matter what we are talking about, I believe 2023 will be a difficult year, especially the first half of the year. Cards with great fundamentals can still hold/increase even if the market is going down. Talking more about true rarity, talking more about cards that don't appear very often in auction houses. Let's move on to the number 3, and goes this way. International growth in the soccer card market will be big. Probably one of the topics I talked the most since I started this channel. If you are a long-time viewer, you are aware of this. Our market is special for multiple reasons, but one of them is the crazy international potential. We all have seen how well shows in Europe are doing right now. Not a surprise at all if you engage with the market, and I will share some anecdotal data. My data, I understand, does not mean a lot, but should put in perspective a lot of what I'm trying to say on this prediction. At one point, 75% of my views end up being from the United States of America. Right now, around 35%. Put that in perspective, think about that. Quite crazy. Another good example, my Discord community, by the way, link below the video if you want to join, is close to 1,000 members. And if you look at this graph, you can see that USA is 36% and other 54%. At one point, again, this was around 70% of my members being from US, and I see this changing every day. Let's do another fun prediction inside of this one. At the end of the day, like I said, this is just for fun, but I believe at the end of the year we'll be around probably 1.5k members on Discord, and 35% of them will be from US, so much lower than what we have right now. The reason is quite simple. I believe the market in America can still keep growing quite a lot. Soccer is actually is one of the sports, if you look at a lot of stats, a lot of information out there, that is growing the most. but our market is expanding much further than that. Soccer cards in Asia are quite hot right now. In Europe, take a look at Troy videos on YouTube, good friend of the channel actually, and I strongly recommend you guys taking a look at his vlogs. In the London show, in the Germany show, is quite evident that our market is so special, and this will be a major topic in 2023. I expect more shows in Europe. I expect to see growth in Europe. Number 4. The topic of the year 2023 will be AI, and this will make grading companies start working on new technologies. Let's focus on this one. AI topics are more relevant than ever. If you follow technology channels on YouTube, channels that talk about crypto, channels that try to ride a new trend, you probably are aware of this. I also feel like this will be the biggest topic in 2023. I know I said the biggest topic, the topic of the year, but I'm also trying to be controversial and make things fun for you guys. Good chance I'm wrong and this is not the biggest topic. Maybe the biggest topic is actually the recession we all are expecting at this point. The grading process has many flaws, let's be real, we all know about this, and new technologies need to be created / implemented. PSA will likely, because of all the money they have, be the leader on this front. The only way I actually see PSA losing their throne is for them not to adapt to potentially new times. Potentially this AI technology this narrative gets so stronger that the pressure will be so high in all grading companies, and PSI for some reason, by the way, I don't even believe in that, will not adapt, will not start working in new technologies, in something that makes grading a bit more I would say standard, if that makes sense. But that being said, this is a topic that you guys will see a lot in 2023. I know a lot of you guys are already aware of this, but this will also put pressure on grading companies. I think the system we have right now in place is quite old, to be honest with you. I think at this point, for example, centering, there is basically no excuse to a grading company give an incorrect grade because of centering. I think that's something they need to improve, but I also believe that will be the case. Prediction number 5, Messi versus Ronaldo debate will be over when it comes to cars. In the soccer world, probably that will not be the case in the next couple of years, since there is a lot of Cristiano Ronaldo fans, but when it comes to cars, the debate will be over. The gap will keep increasing. I have a video on this topic, by the way. The gap was already huge before the World Cup. Ronaldo is not living his best moments, by the way, end up going to Saudi Arabia, and Messi can potentially win more relevant trophies / awards, for example, another Ballon d'Or. The number of collectors for Messi is in a different level to any other player in the soccer card market. You may not like this fact, but this is a fact. I still believe Ronaldo long run is a great player to speculate. Short term, mid term, I would be quite careful. I have a video, like I said, where I explain all my thoughts on this. And I will repeat myself, I'm not talking about rookie material. Understand one thing, Messi have 7 rookies plus a couple of variations. Cristiano Ronaldo have 2 rookies, so that's not even a fair comparison. But in general, in a macro perspective, to be fair, I even put rookies there. I would be careful with the Cristiano Ronaldo market in the next year. I believe the market can go down, but again, difficult to predict, just my guess. Let's move on to the number 6, but before we go into that, let me share actually a couple of things that are very important for this channel. If you love this content on YouTube, you probably love my content on Patreon. I put so many videos there, so there is a new Q&A every week. So if you have questions, if you like this talk about the financial side of the soccer card market, my Patreon is for you. So new Q&A every week on Wednesday, and the extra audio that you also can call it a podcast on Saturday. If you joined right now, the amount of content is quite crazy. You have, I believe, 82 Q&As, plus it depends when you are watching this video, of course, but 82 Q&As and I believe 77 extra audios. So we are talking about weeks and weeks of content if you join right now. You can see an example of the last Q&A I did there, the topics we end up talking about, vintage goalkeepers versus modern goalkeepers, what I think about that market in the soccer card market, my top 30 best players ever list and why I believe those guys are potentially some of the players you should focus, and you can see more topics. Actually, there is much more topics than the ones you are seeing on the screen, but this is just a preview of what you should expect. Link below the video, link on the description if you want to join the Patreon. The Patreon is around $10 and that can be a lot of money to you. If that's the case, do not feel any pressure to join. There will always be free content on YouTube, but one thing that is totally free is actually my Discord server. We are over 900 members, crazy to think about. We are still, I would say, a fairly new Discord server, but is growing quite fast. It's an amazing place to learn about the soccer card market, to interact with me, to interact with other collectors. So again, like the Patreon, link below the video. Feel free to check both links and I hope to see you guys there. So in the position number 6, I'm actually taking a huge gamble. Messi all-time sale, more than $500,000, will be broken. If you are not aware about the card that holds the record, is the one you are seeing on the screen. Very risky one, since I do not expect a great years for the collectible space, but in the other hand, I also understand that the top of the top can actually go against the market. And I also feel that top cards for Messi are quite undervalued comparing with other markets, comparing with other GOATs. Even inside our market, by the way, another hot take, I believe it's a question of time until Messi have the most expensive card ever sold in soccer. I just don't think will be this year, but long run, this is, I guess, another prediction that I'm making right now. What card will break the record? Honestly, not sure. Messi 7 on B's PSA 10 is always a strong contender, but another low-numbered Prism can also do it. Maybe as one-of-one Top Scrum 2017, maybe another Super Fractor with a on-card auto. I don't know, you guys get the point. It gets quite difficult to predict this type of stuff, but even if I think this is probably one of the most risky predictions I'm making for this year, I believe there is a scenario this can actually happen. Moving on, in the prediction number 7, I'm saying that BGS or SGC, by the way, or even both, will have a big year in terms of changes and grading prices will keep going down. I believe that even one of these two companies can get bought, can basically merge with another company. I think many companies in the space overreacted to the boom we had 2 years ago, I would say 2-3 years ago, and now they have to face the harsh reality. Even PSA, by the way. But the small ones will be more affected short term. I assume PSA have much more money, much more cash flow right now than the other ones, so they probably can navigate a bear market better. Even though there is still a risk that I'm completely wrong on that one. And I also think it's a question of time until PSA, BGS, SEC, they put the grading fees down. Bulk service at PSA will be around $10 to $12 if I had to guess. I was thinking about putting that in the prediction, but I thought, you know what, that's so obvious that if I want to put that in the prediction, I should go against that, because that will be the surprising thing if at the end of the year we don't have bulk around $12. I think that is a given almost. There is always the option for the company to retract, fire the employees, in this case layoffs, and the price drop maybe not so evident since they will try to adapt to a new reality, to a different demand they will face. So not a prediction, but I also feel will be smart for all the major companies, not only talking about grading, even auction houses, even all the new vault services, to start pushing more markets like soccer, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Why? International demand. That's the thing that, in my perspective, of course, can save a lot of this overshooting that ended up happening in the last 2-3 years. I guess this prediction could also be named forced consolidation. Is a consolidation that they don't want to do it, but they will be forced to do it. So again, grading companies, vaults, auction houses, etc., all of them will have a difficult year. All of them will have to adapt and probably make huge changes. I said layoffs. I hope you guys don't understand that. I hope you guys don't take that personal. Why? Because I wish all the best for people working at companies related with the hobby, but looking at the overshoot that ended up happening a couple of years ago, I believe makes sense to start thinking about a new reality for the grading space, for auction houses, etc. Prediction number 8. Pre-modern and vintage may have a bad year, but these two markets will grow more in terms of true collectors. What I mean with true collectors, to be fair, I don't even like that expression, but basically people that, money is important, but is not the only thing. Actually, is the least thing. For me, having this card means a lot. I will be operating in this market in the next 4, 5, maybe 10 years. Those are the true collectors. Those are the ones we need to make this market more special, to make even prices to go up, because collectors are the ones that in a sustainable way rise prices. So complex one, but in my view pre-modern and vintage are still the two best markets we have in the soccer card market. I've been learning / buying more modern, and I will say one thing, real talk, the more I spend on the modern space, the more I like about vintage and pre-modern. It's a little strange how a different color in the background can make a card in modern cost much more or less, and not criticizing that, but I feel that's a bit strange. At the end of the day, the gold parallel is the same as the green one, the green is the same as the blue, but some people pay much more for the gold background than they pay for the blue. What's the reason, apart from, of course, one is more difficult to find than the other? It gets really tricky to make sense sometimes in modern, especially if you have a more European mentality, and I have a lot of Europeans watching my channel, but it's a market that we have to understand. I think most of us put Zidane, by the way, this is a great example, in the top 10 list of best players ever. His rookie at PSA, you may not be aware of this, is pop 103 copies total. Guess what? Zidane have one rookie. Think about that for a minute. Now I actually have another example for you. Pedri. I think you agree with me, he's probably one of the best prospects right now in the soccer card market. I was watching the game yesterday, Barcelona versus Athletic Madrid, and I thought that Pedri played quite amazing. That being said, easy question. Do you believe Pedri will be Zidane level, Iniesta level? I think the safe answer will be saying no. There is a scenario on that, but seems very unlikely. Now think about how many rookies Pedri have. How many rookies Bellingham, also another amazing example, because he's another amazing player, have. In terms of numbered cards, they have what? 1k, 2k numbered cards. Zidane, the only rookie, by the way, is 100 copies at PSA right now. Oh, Andre, but that pop can go up. Oh, well, you are correct on that. But even if the pop goes up to 200, 300, 400, 500 in the next 5-10 years, by the way, could be the case, but I actually expect the growth to be a bit slower over time for logic reasons. I believe that's still very low pop for a player of the caliber of Zinedine Zidane. Not talking bad about Pedri and Bellingham, I think those guys are great, not the market I operate, but when you see people paying so much money for a 1 of 10, a 1 of 50 for Pedri, for Bellingham, puts in perspective how cheap Zinedine Zidane can potentially be, and Zinedine Zidane is one example. I guess you can put Ronaldo, Iniesta, Xavi, all other greats in pre-modern. You may think Zinedine Zidane is very expensive. Actually, not at all, in my opinion. If you look at his market, he's down quite a lot. You can apply this logic to not all, but to a lot of other great players in pre-modern, in vintage. Cruyff, I guess, is another great example. And I still believe there is a lot of opportunity in pre-modern and vintage. Let's refocus. Pre-modern and vintage may have a bad year because of macroeconomics, but these two markets will grow in terms of collector base, in terms of true collectors. I want to make one thing clear because my take ends up seeming a bit bearish, Modern is a market with a lot of opportunity. I just believe the pre-modern and the vintage market, you have even more opportunity there. But again, understanding the market you are operating is very important. If you feel like you understand modern much more than you understand vintage, stay at modern. Moving on to the prediction number 9, this is a personal goal. I will create a new channel related with collectibles and have at least 20 videos there. What I mean with this? Something I've been thinking for a long time, something I've been talking for a long time. This channel, in my perspective, of course, limits me in terms of creativity. I tried some content related with TCGs and the reception was not great at all. By the way, I understand that if I subscribe to a guy that talks about soccer cards, if that guy all of a sudden starts talking about Yu-Gi-Oh!, Magic the Gathering and things that I don't care at all, I would also not be happy. And I end up understanding that because I made a couple of videos, I would say more than 1 year ago, and you guys end up making that very clear. But of course, I can create a new channel and I should create a new channel if I want to share my perspective in different markets. The problem with this, and I would love to know your opinion actually, is I'm not sure about the main topic of the new channel. I mainly want to talk about other collectibles markets, especially CCGs also. On the other hand, I would love to share more about my beliefs in traditional finance, politics, philosophy, technology, and all other topics. So I'm not sure what type of channel I will create. I don't want to make the same mistake as I did with this one, that I end up just focusing one thing. Maybe I want to have a channel where I talk about a lot of stuff. Probably will not grow that fast, but this is a commitment that I'm making with all of you guys right now. I will create a new channel related with collectibles. Good chance will be related actually with Magic the Gathering, since it's the game I played for more than 20 years, and I would have at least 20 videos there. I hope I achieve this one. I know I just depend on myself, but you guys get the point. Sometimes I love the soccer card market also so much that Sometimes I argue about this. Should I just make more videos for the Soccer Studies channel and forget about that stuff? Because I really think the soccer card market is probably the market with the most potential of all the other markets I operate, and I'm being very honest when I say this. But fun goal, I would love to know if you would be a potential viewer for my new channel. Number 10. This is one that I ended up failing last year. I said that my channel would be at 3,000 subscribers and is at 2.1. Now I'm gonna say it again. My channel at the end of the year will be at 3,000 subscribers and the Discord will be at 1.5k. This prediction, you can help me, by the way, so just subscribe and join the Discord. Is the easiest way to make this one become reality. I'm right now at 2.1k subscribers on YouTube, and on Discord I believe around 900 members. So, do I think this will be easy? Not at all. I still see this goal as a very difficult one, but like I said last year, I believe on my work ethic. I do this because I really love to share my passion about the soccer card market, and I also feel you guys feel that. So, again, if I don't hit the goal this year, I will hit in 2024. If I don't hit in 2024, I don't care. I will not stop making videos because I believe the potential in the soccer card market is so big that we are just getting started. Because of that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed my predictions. Don't take anything personal. At the end of the day, good chance I will be wrong in a lot of them. But I made this as a fun exercise. Leave a like, check the links below the video, and see you guys tomorrow. Bye.